Hi, my name is Emily. Welcome to my Christmas garden. I have a great show planned for you today. So grab a cup of cocoa, stay tuned, and I'll see you in a minute. We're back. I'm at Norman and Ronnie Fontaine's home here in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. And as you can see, we got a light show going on. How long did it take you to do this?
It takes me around 4 weeks to set it up, but it takes me an awful lot of time to make all the things that I set up here. I've been doing it for about 15 years now. I'm 81 and I'm having a little trouble. Getting up on the roof and in the trees is getting to be a chore.
I'm sure that you really do attract a lot of people. There's cars running up and down the street now and the lights have only been on for about 5 minutes.
Well, between now and Christmas, I'll bet there'll be a couple of thousand people at least.
How many lights do you have here, Norman?
Right now, I counted them this morning, there's a little over 25,000.
You know, I think that this is a present that you actually give to the community. And what I'm hearing you tell me is it also is something that feels good to you.
Oh, it does, because my family started out enjoying it so much, I started adding a little each year.
I love this one over here. The World Series, you say. How did that come about?
Well, I'm a big Red Sox fan, and I just love my Charlie Brown and Lucy and Snoopy. Everything you see, I made by hand, and as I say, it's difficult for someone who's not an artist because it just took me long.
I have to actually stop you there because I did not realize that you even made the wooden figures.
Oh yeah, everything you see.
I have to tell you, sir, you are an artist.
Well,
they're beautiful.
It's difficult. The mouth on Charlie Brown took me around 3 hours. Snoopy's the manager of the Red Sox this year. Yeah, we got him all dressed up. Woodstock is up on top of the.
I love him.
You know, he had to get into there. I put a Red Sox jersey on him. The sleigh you're sitting on is made out of a bed and a wardrobe.
I do things like that.
And these
recycled treasures.
These jars are Mott's applesauce.
They're jars. You gotta love it. And the lights themselves, these are really lovely. They almost look like strawberries.
Well, that's what they're supposed to be. You know, they're little strawberries.
They're beautiful.
These are the latest thing. If I were going to stay in this thing for a long time, these are what they call the LED lights. They're very expensive.
They're beautiful.
But they are very nice. They don't break. You can't change the bulbs. And they use very, very little electricity.
Christmas lights, also sometimes called fairy lights, twinkle lights, and holiday lights, come in a dazzling array of configurations and colors. The small midget bulbs, commonly known as fairy lights, are also called Italian lights in some parts of the United States. The tradition of using small candles to light up the Christmas tree dates back to at least the 17th century. Candles for the tree were glued with melted wax to a tree branch or attached by pins. The world's first practical light bulb was invented by Thomas Edison in 1879. 3 years later, in 1882, an associate of his, one Edward Johnson no less, electrically lit a Christmas tree for the first time. Mr. Johnson has become widely regarded as the father of electric Christmas tree light. Christmas lights were too expensive for the average person. As such, electric Christmas lights did not become the majority replacement for candles until 1930. I have to ask you, how many lights are there here?
There are a little over 25,000, yeah.
A little over 25,000, he says.
You know, last year someone stole Charlie Brown. Christmas Eve, somebody dumped him over on the corner on a road. I think they were a little guilty, but it was like a celebration. My whole family was here, and it's just like we recovered one of our own children. It's amazing how they've fallen in love with the characters, and they're like part of the family now.
On that note, I'm going to end us here, but only for a minute. We're going to go to another residence, so you stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're at another residence now, at the home of Paul and Pam Rizzotti. This place is unbelievable.
Well, thank you.
Now I see all kinds of things all over the place. I see that you also make a lot of the figures yourself.
Yes, I do. It took me a little over a week to do the Happy Holidays.
Do you get a lot of spectators?
Yes, a lot of people stop, they take pictures. And I've been doing it for 7 years, ever since my oldest son, Paul, joined the Marine Corps. I wanted something to show my support, so I built a tree. And I said, well, gee, that one tree looks kind of bare, so I built another one. I wound up building 6 trees altogether.
And they're symbolic of your son.
Yes.
And your son is home safe and sound.
Yes, yes.
I wanted to make sure that I added
Yep,
that on
he's
this
home,
note
safe.
for Christmas. The evergreen tree represents life. In the Northern Hemisphere, December 20th or the 21st signals the onset of the shortest day of the year, the winter solstice. Christmas was named so as a derivation of the words Christ's Mass, as celebrated by the early church in honor of the birth of Christ. The custom of including the evergreen tree in the Christmas celebration dates back to the 16th century. The evergreen tree, in fact, specifically represents the life of Christ during the Christmas season and is taken into the home and decorated. Legend has it that Martin Luther was strolling through the forest one Christmas Eve when he became awestruck by the splendor of the stars twinkling through the snowy tree branches. To him, the sight suggested the majesty of the starlit sky as it must have appeared that very first Christmas in Bethlehem. It is said that Luther wanted to share the experience with his family, chopped down a snowy fir tree, carried it home, and decorated it with candles to represent the starlit sky. The Christ tree, or the Christmas tree as we know it today, was introduced by German settlers in the 1800s to the United States. Christmas trees were randomly taken from the forest and sold commercially for years. Due to over-harvesting, the natural supply began to diminish. Conservationists became alarmed, and many magazines encouraged the consumer to purchase artificial trees. Sears and Roebuck offered the first artificial tree in 1883. You could buy 33 limbs for 50 cents or purchase 55 branches for $1 from their catalog. Out of concern about the destruction of forests, Theodore Roosevelt tried to stop the practice of having Christmas trees. His 2 sons disagreed and helped found the first Christmas tree farm in 1901 to persuade the president that if done properly, the practice would not be harmful to the natural forest. In the 1930s, Franklin Roosevelt followed suit and started a Christmas tree farm on his estate. In 1966, the National Christmas Tree Association began its time-honored tradition of having a champion grower present a Christmas tree to the First Lady for display in the Blue Room at the White House. Today, approximately 25 to 30 million real trees are sold each year in the United States. Almost all of the trees are farmed from Christmas tree plantations. Now those candy canes are great. They remind me, what are they?
Those are PVC pipe.
I knew they looked like something I've seen before.
I made 12 of them.
They're adorable. Now, if you just
Thank you.
pass by, you don't realize, but that is exactly what you have here.
Yeah.
You got PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Right. See, I've done my homework. PVC pipe.
And
Ta-da!
and they'll never rust out.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
You did a wonderful job with
Thank
this year. And on that note, I wanted to wish you all a very happy holiday, and thank you so much for giving the gift of light.